second, 0.8 in the second. The gap between first and third is 1.5.
Let's come back. Adjustable anti-roll bar blade that you can see. It's vertical there to the right-hand side of screen. Okay. That's an alarming amount of stress and strain in that at the moment. It's supposed to be straight. It's not supposed to bend like that. It's the device that controls the amount of roll. It's the anti-roll bar. And the piece that Neil's referring to there is what is called a knife. It's the adjustable end of the anti-roll bar, and you can turn it up one way so it's flat, so that's the softest, or turn it up the other way, and that's the hardest, and that was then bent like a banana. On that subject, it may have been a visual illusion, but like the axle was having an arc there as well. I mean, it always amazes me, the engineering in these cars, the punishment that they take, the heat, the stress, the temperatures. Oh, that shot's pretty telling. It's right for your life.
Austin again, this 21-year-old continues to push and push hard. He's having a really good look at Shane van Gisbergen. You've had plenty to say today on Twitter. Keep it coming. Mostly about that post-race investigation. Let us know your thoughts. They're coming through thick and fast. Hashtag V8SC.
Gee, that sun's hard through turn 2 there. It's difficult enough as a corner in the perfect circumstances, let alone when you've just got that setting sun blazing through the front window of the car. He's going to get here. Get it pulled up, get it pulled up. Did a good job. Left the brake on, turned it in early. He might just have enough. No, he hasn't. This is going to be still quite wild as they come to turn 4. And walk out for Moffat because he's right in behind and he'll try to capitalise on this. These guys are trying to wedge their way into the top 10. The Aaron Davison is 10th. You can see him just in the blue car in the distance. These are the next guys in this queue. The Aaron in there too hard there, Moffat. He tried to get into that gap, didn't he? He ran wide. This is now touch parking at your local Safeway. Meantime, 1.5 seconds is the margin. We cut to McLaughlin. This is the battle that involves Moffat, Coulthard. Those guys are battling 11 through 14. The bottom is third, challenging for second. There's the race leader off in the distance. The problem with this is that Frosty ends up on the wrong side down here at turn 4. If you can get far enough up, you can claim your ground. That's what he's attempting to do. He's got nearly a car length clear, but of course he's got to go the long way around. There's more metres involved, so he sinks the crisscross. He actually sent it in there too deep then. He couldn't get a turn back, could he? He was actually going too fast at the turn-in point. So sometimes when you do that, what Neil was saying is if you do run it in there deep and turn in with them, you almost force them to give you racing room. But what he did is he headed it in so hard, he couldn't keep it on line and he ran wide.
Well, Scotty McLaughlin just locked in an amazing duel at the moment, and Gary White-Rogers is watching on closer. Gary, you certainly have the Midas touch when it comes to discovering new drivers. This is fantastic with Scott. You effectively signed him up for another 4 years, which is great news.
Well, that's great news for the whole team, and certainly I think for Scott too. He fits us well. I mean, he can bloody well drive, and he's a really decent young bloke. He works with everybody well. You know, I just see big things. Clearly, a lot of people will probably thinking, gee, the Volvo deal, that'll be hard, but I'm sure we'll get on top of that. So we've just got to really give it our best shot and wait and see what happens.
He's the standout for Rookie of the Year this year. What's impressed you most about him this season?
His manner. He's just the way he is. He's a very normal, well-adjusted. He's just a decent young bloke. But the beauty of that is there's plenty of decent young blokes that can't drive. I mean, he's a decent young bloke and he can drive very, very well. He's a very good thinker. Like, he thinks the race through. He's not a big psycho in the head about it, but he thinks about it, and I'm sure he makes himself accountable for his own actions, and he knows exactly when to do it and when to ease off a bit.
Well, you found another gem, Gary. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
And remember that success came pretty quickly to Scott McLaughlin. Victory in the 6th race of the year, the youngest ever winner of the V8 Supercar race. But since then, boys, his average finish has been 17th. So he would have known that it wasn't all going to be rosy. So he's just managed to hold on, keep fighting, and now he's looking at a podium finish here. And the other youngster, the other rookie in the field, Chaz Mostert, who we've been detailing, is mixing it big time. He's lost a couple of spots though in that last battle while Gary was talking. Now he's behind Fabian Coulthard. So this train led by Van Gisbergen is 11th, and it's James Moffat, Fabian, Mostert, and Russell Ingall behind them.
This is cutthroat. These guys are at it at the moment, and emerging on top of them all at present is James Moffat there in the Norton Nissan. It's good, but this is really cutthroat. Everywhere you look, these guys are at it. There is not a millimetre left. The cars are maxed out, under brakes, mid-corner, then crisscrossing. It's all happening. And what a mix. Young Mostert in his debut year. Right behind is Russell Ingall, one of the hardest racers in the field. Mostert was up battling with Van Gisbergen a little while ago. He was actually in front there momentarily. So pretty lively battle, and young James Moffat now, as Neil said, has just emerged out the other end of this lively fracas of those 5 cars. And Rick Kelly, who was right with Moffat, has fallen to the back of that group. He's got a black eye right left corner of that car. Yeah, it looks a bit worse for wear in the combat. It's unfolded in the last few laps.
Remember, boys, with the Enduro Cup coming along next month or in September, just go to v8supercars.com.au, purchase a ticket to join us at Sandown, the Sandown 500, and you can be alongside Rick Kelly for a hot lap.
You analyse Mostert's performance since he joined the series in Western Australia. In the Battle of the Young Blokes, he's actually done more scoring than anybody since he joined, and he's well in this battle for 14th. But here we go, the battle for 2nd and 3rd at the moment. On board with Winterbottom, this is turn 6. He's got the blowtorch on Scott McLaughlin. This is effectively allowing Whincup to ease away at the moment, so looks like it's going to be a nice, tidy Saturday and a great response to the difficulties in Townsville for Red Bull and for Whincup. This one's not resolved. What Scott's got to do is he's got to look at the spot. This is the critical one to get the exit. That was perfect. You have a look at the little gain he just made there on Winterbottom. He got off the corner slightly better than Mark, which means that he's not vulnerable at turn 3. So he's got to find those couple of areas and ensure that just in terms of racecraft, Davey Reynolds off the road from 7th. So that's really going to hurt. In terms of racecraft, he's just got to use his head now. We heard Gary say before that he was a good, clear thinker. He'll have Bridget Holloway on the radio to him, guiding him through the last 3 or 4 laps. But it's very, very important for him to make sure that he just places the car right, makes nice late apexes, just like that. He got out of there well enough just to get that little gap, and that's crucial to not make him vulnerable.
Flinchley had a Reynolds. He was in 7th. He's now 24th. Whatever happened there cost him dearly.
It's off at turn 3, wasn't it?
So 3.1 Ks to go for the first race of the weekend here at Jamie Whincup. He's got a lock on his 8th race victory of the season. But he's going to create some history here. It'll be the first time that somebody's led at half-time in a 60-60 race and gone on with it. And look at McLaughlin continuing to play defensive on the inside of Mark Winterbottom. It will also be the first time that Jamie's won here in a Commodore. He's only had 1 success back in 2009. Team Motorphone, of course, the Ford there as Winterbottom has a look on that right-hand side up to turn 4.
He's clinging on at the moment, McLaughlin. He's got to do everything he can because clearly at the moment Mark Winterbottom's car's quick and neither of them can afford a misstep because Lowndes is right there.
He appeared out of nowhere, Craig Lowndes. Just waited and pounced. They had a tough run by their standards at Townsville Red Bull Racing Australia, but they do not stay off the podium for long. And Jamie Whincup
Great start to the weekend.
wins again
Nice fight back.
in the 60-60. Great job, Scott McLaughlin. He holds off Mark Winterbottom.
Thank you, mate. It's been a while since we've had one here, brother.
Sure has. 2009 was the last time for Whincup.
Go tomorrow. Got me that famous, but...
Oh, Chaz Mostert. Wow, what a disappointing end. At turn 6.
Bad luck, mate. Bad luck.
That really is disappointing.
There'll be more to that story.
And he crosses the line in 23rd.
Now, and now I'm not on 69 wins anymore, mate.
So what's happened here? Oh, so Todd Kelly straight into the back of Chaz Mostert. That'll invariably be a post-race penalty for Todd Kelly, I should think. And here it is. It actually cannon Mostert into the back of Russell Ingall. Around he goes. Lucky he didn't get T-boned. That was the drama for David Reynolds. So I suspect he locked up in the run to turn 3 and he dropped all the way down to 24th. And that was career win number 72 for Jamie Whitcup.
And remember, Craig Lowndes is under investigation for the first lap incident. We know that Todd Kelly is already under investigation for the connection with David Wall, so he could be facing a long night in the steward's room. So Tim Blanchard finishes in 16th position, so it was a good net gain from Tim Blanchard. It would have been so much better too for Chaz Mostert. He was heading towards